Who's gonna left field, number 11, James Beering. Third and left field, number 25, Colin Heights. Fourth and doing the pitching, number 5, Cole Steeler. That is fifth and being 23rd base, Mason Reichel. Number 4, Shane O'Connell. Number 25, Harrison Nichols. Number 12, Dylan Connect. Number 22, Abbott Bowler. On the left field, number 24, Jake Humble. 23rd, number 14, Aiden Dorsett. 22nd base, number 10, Will Brooks. 31, Maddox Munson. Number 1, Liam Boothman. Number 3, Trey. 13, David Holtzman. Number 16 is Zach Vanderhaar. Number 21, Jackson McCullough. Number 6, Zach Weaver. Number 9, Big Spread. Number 28, Isaac Trapp. 1, 2, 3, 4. Connor Hopkins. Jeremy Humble. 1, 2. This time we have the three drive. Loser X, director, right, left, honor America, playing number 11, Dave Beering.
One, two. Oh, I might have got this working finally. All right, well, Lennox gets a line out on the second pitch of the game to the second baseman, and then is quickly ahead here with one out in the first with 2 strikes. There's a big swing and a miss, and that is out number 2. Dylan Knecht doing the catching. Infield is Hayden, Brooks, Will, and Pete going left to right on the infield, and outfield is Humple, Tate Connell, and Abbott Moeller. Maddox Munson with another strike in there. And here is the 0-1. Curveball misses low. Well, after all the hail and the rain, it's a gorgeous night out here at Ronkin Field for your home opener for your Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. There's a high, sky-high ball coming in, going out, and making the catch is Tate Connell as he calls off Will and Abbott, and 3 up, 3 down. We'll head to the bottom of the first with your Chargers coming up to bat. All right, we got Brooks Clapp to lead us off. Brooks Clapp leading off, followed by Tate Connell, and then we'll see Pete Samp in the 3-hole. Lefty on the mound for Lennox, and he misses high and outside for ball 1. It's amazing how fast hail melts on a baseball field. The JV game tonight got about to the bottom of the first before it was called, and that ball is in there for strike 1 to even the count at 1-1. Waits on that curveball and fouls it out of play over the first base dugout. So Burks has put himself here in the 1-2 hole, and he's going to have to battle. And here's the 1-2. Curveball misses outside. So 2-2 now. Ooh, way outside. All right, so Brooks has worked it back to a 3-2 count here. And here's the payoff pitch. Ooh, swing and a miss by Brooks, and Brooks is going to be down on strikes.
Now batting the center fielder, number 4, Tate Connell.
That's going to bring up Tate here. Curveball in there for a strike. It's a big 12-6 curveball from the lefty. Yeah, I think he was even questioning whether or not that pitch missed or not. And that's in there for strike 2, so Tate quickly behind here. Oh, and that gets away from the catcher. It is ball 1, though. Tate looks at a high fastball. Curveball. Tate hammers one. That is sky high. Going out as a shortstop, coming in as a left fielder, and the left fielder is going to make the catch. As that was hit about as high and as it was far. And that is going to be 2 quick outs for your Chargers. That's going to bring up Pete Samp here with nobody on and 2 out in the bottom of the first. Harry Nichols on deck if Pete can find a way on. And, well, Pete's going to add to his team leading count of hit by pitches as he takes one in the middle of the back. All right, well, let's see if Harry can get something going here with 2 out. Pete gets his lead over at first. Can't get too far of a lead here with a lefty on the mound. And Harry pops one straight up. And, snow cone catch as it drifted back into play is the first baseman. And that is going to do it. So Harry sees one pitch and pops it up to the first baseman. And that'll do it for your Chargers in the first. No hits, no runs, 1 left, and we'll head to the top of the second.
out the top second for Lennox. Pitcher number 5, Cole Wheeler.
All right, well, we're going to have a pitcher-on-pitcher matchup now as number 5 is going to step in for Lennox, batting cleanup. That's a ball? Okay. I guess that missed inside. Here's the 1-0 from Mad Dog. Missed way outside, so he's behind here 2-0. Breezed through the first inning. He's put himself here in a little hole, the leadoff batter, as he looks at a pipe fastball for strike 1. Yeah, there's no way the ump's going to deny that one. Here's the 2-1. And that misses inside, so... And Maddox misses high, and that's going to be a leadoff walk here in the second.
The DH number 17, Sam Bamba.
It's going to bring up number 17 here for Lennox. In there for strike 1. Very delayed strike call here from the umpire behind home plate. Throw over. Runner is back. Lennox doing a lot of chattering from the dugout. At least they're not meowing at Maddox in this game yet. 17 shows bunt, and Maddox hasn't picked off. And they got him in a rundown. And he's going to be tagged out. And that is a great job as they get him leaning. And that batter is retired. Can't really score that one. There was, I think it was Pete to Will to Pete to Brooks to Maddox to, I don't know. Either way, great play, and we'll still a 0-1 count here. Nobody on now. Maddox misses low on that one. Max is set. Rocks and fires, big swing and a miss. So Max ahead here, 1-2. That ball misses high and outside. All right, here's the 2-2. Here's a curveball that is buried in the dirt. So Maddox in danger here, walking back-to-back hitters to start the second. Here's a slow roller. Brooks gloves it, throws and fires, and the runner is retired for the second out of the inning.
Third baseman number 20, Mason Russell.
And that's going to bring up number 20 for Lennox. fastball in there. That pitch at 86 according to the scoreboard, which we do have a gun on this game, so here's the 0-1. And that's in there at 86, and that's 2 quick strikes. Here's the 0-2, and Maddox hits him. Not really what you want to do there with 2 out.
The catcher, number 14, Justin Butler.
Yeah, 2 out, 0-2 count, and try and go inside and drill a guy. Better off trying to challenge him with a high fastball or... Either way, number 14 is going to step in for Lennox. That one is fouled back and out of play. So Maddox ahead here 0-1. Short lead at first, throw over. Ooh, Maddox about threw that one away. It's a good save by Pete. That's in there over the outside part of the plate, forced strike 2. So once again, Max ahead here, 0-2. And that's a big swing and a miss, and that is second strikeout of the game for Maddox Munson. 1 left after a hit batsman, a walk, but a good pickoff play. And we'll head to the bottom of the second inning with DK coming up. All right, that's going to bring up DK to lead off here in the second. And that curveball doesn't curve, and it stays way outside for ball 1. That ball misses outside, so DK quickly ahead here, 2-0. Great night for baseball after the storm. Dylan grounds one off the end of the bat. gloving it is the second baseman, throws over and gets DK for the first out of the second inning. It's going to bring up Abbott Moeller. One of a couple Sioux Falls Lutheran kids on the team. Happy to have Abbott on the squad this year. And that curveball breaks in there for strike one. Oh, 1 to Abbott. Fastball stays outside. So 1-1 here. With Jake Humple on deck. Ooh, I think he tried to check his swing and then tried not to get hit at the same time. And that's going to be called a swing. So Abbott, unfortunately, in a bad 1-2 hole. And he looks at a fastball on the outside part of the plate.
The left fielder, number 24, Jake Humble.
That's going to bring up Hump. Jake quickly behind here, 0-1. And way out in front of that curveball. So Jake in an 0-2 hole. If you find a way on, Hayden Gorsett is in the on-deck circle. And that ball misses high. And here's the 1-2. That bounces in there, so Jake's worked it back to a 2-2 count.
You got him.
And way out in front of that curveball, and Jake is going to be down on strikes. Well, we'll head to the top of the third as this game's moving quickly. No hits so far on either side. And we'll head to a 0-0 score, top of 3 coming up. All right, Mad Dog ready for his third inning of work. And big swing and a miss. Catches the outside part of the plate for strike two. Sorry I'm delayed on the call, but I'm just trying to keep up with the umpire. Here's the 0-2. And that's in there on the outside part of the plate for strike three.
After the strikeout, brings up the second baseman, number 2, Cade Ashine.
Hey, turn off here. Let's go.
I'll bring up number 2 here for Lennox. Ooh. Maddox thought about drilling another guy, I guess. As Max goes high and tight here to number 2. And he comes back with a strike on the outside part of the plate, so I love how he's changing the batter's eye level. Go right at his eyes and then go way outside. Here's the 1-1. Ball misses high. Here's 2-1. And that's in there for strike two. And that's a swing and a miss at 86. Strikeout number 4 on the day for Maddox Munson. And that'll bring up number 4 here for Lennox with 2 out in third. I am joined on commentary by my daughter, Mason Munson. I did get her to come to a baseball game.
Yep.
And that paints the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Anything you want to say to anybody, May?
No.
Woman, a few words. That is fouled back into the netting, and Maddox quickly ahead here, 0-2. Be a good time to dial up a curveball on the outside part of the plate. Oh, we have a soccer ball on the field. Interesting. I have not seen that before as it comes flying in from behind the first base dugout. And here's the 0-2. And misses and everything, including Dylan's glove. And Maddox still ahead here, 1-2, 2 out, top of 3. And he tried to overthrow that one, and that bounces in there. So 2-2. Trying not to lose him here after he started out 0-2. There's a swing and a miss. 3 up, 3 down, all via the K. And we'll head to the bottom of the third, and Hayden Gorsett set to lead us off. That's going to bring up Hayden Gorsett, lead off here for your Chargers in the bottom of the third. As we are number 5 for the Lennox Orioles back out on the mound. And that curveball misses outside to Hayden. Lennox and Sioux Falls Christian have a little bit of a rivalry, more on the football side of things and trying to turn it into a baseball one as Hayden swings and misses. My buddy Cruzy is from Lennox, so hopefully he's rooting for the right team today since Mad Dog's on the mound. Hayden looks at strike 2. He did just send me a text saying he was watching on our YouTube channel. And looks at ball 2 as that ball misses outside. Oh, Cruzy. Cruzy's from Lennox.
Oh, that's who texted you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
I thought.
Big swing and a miss, and Hayden's going to be down on strikes.
The second baseman, number 10, Will.
That will bring up Will. Will has been off to a great start this season, currently leading the team in the RBI category. And looking to get on ahead here of the top of the order. Ball misses high and outside for ball 1. That's a good curveball as that breaks over the heart of the plate. That is a nasty 12-6. That starts about at shoulder high and just falls out to right at the knees of Will. And that one just didn't curve. So Will ahead here, 2-1. Brooks on deck. That ball stays up, so Will ahead here, 3-1. Base runners for both teams have been at a premium and have all been via the walk or hit batsman. Big swing and a miss from Will. And that's going to run the count here full. There's a ground ball. Ooh, fouled right at the Lennox dugout. And Will's going to stay alive with that foul ball. Yeah, these two teams on the football field have faced each other in the last 2 state title games in Class 11A, each one winning one. Now, umpire's asking, since that did hit the brick, wants to check out that ball, make sure there's no cuts or anything on it. I think it's going to be okay. Put it back in the bag. All right, we'll do full count here again. That ball misses it. Oh, come on. Will gets rung up on a call that's been a ball all game. Either way, I don't have much to say over it, and Will's going to be down on strikes. Oh, I'll bring up Brooks here with 2 out and nobody on. Brooks looks at a curveball over the heart of the plate.
Okay, but you never watched the videos I sent.
Sorry, May. May was currently watching a Instagram video I sent her earlier about how much she loves her dad. As Brooks looks at strike 2. And here's the 0-2. And that ball misses low and inside. Tate waiting for his opportunity if Brooks can find a way on. Here's the 1-2. And that's the same pitch that just rung Will up. Hasn't been a strike all game. That's called a ball. So we need to figure out what's going on here. Either way, it's 2-2 with 2 out. And ball bounces in there, so Brooks and Will have both done a nice job of making the pitcher battle. Both running the counts full here. Here's the payoff pitch to Brooks. And that ball misses low and inside, and that's a good walk.
The walk brings up the center fielder, number 4, Tate Connell.
And that's going to be your Sioux Falls Christian Chargers second base runner of the day after Pete Samp got drilled earlier. All right, that'll be Tate Connell coming up, who hit a ball to the moon, but then was caught by the left fielder. Brooks with a short lead at first. Throw over, gets him leaning, and he is going to be out. It's a good pickoff move from the Lennox Oriole pitcher. And that will do it for your Chargers in the third. No runs, no hits, nobody left, and we'll head to the fourth.
Baseball team company, Bruce Weatherlick World Upper Cervical, American Electric Company, Napa, thank you to all our sponsors.
Bombs. All right, Mad Dog out here to start the fourth. He'll face the number 2 batter in the Orioles lineup, and he looks at ball 1, low and inside. Ooh, okay. All right. Well, that's not going to be called a strike, I guess. So Max behind here, 2-0. And that's a strike. So which one's a strike? Which one's a ball? Because they were about in the same position.
Say it.
No, I'm not going to say it, May. Because I'm juggling my hands like it's not 6-7, May. I know that's what you wanted me to say.
You said it.
Max behind here, 3-1, the leadoff hitter in the fourth. That's a walk? Man, oh man, that is tough. Very inconsistent strike zone here. So leadoff walk to Lennox. Maddox needs to rein it in a little bit because he is firing a lot of balls here to start the fourth. Okay, all right, well, he paused a little too long there. I thought he was going to call it a ball, and I was going to absolutely start yelling out this window. Either way, the count is 1-1. Short lead over at first for the runner. That's down the pipe. So 1-2. There's a fly ball going over is Pete. Oh, and he just missed that ball as it stayed in play, but he got a little turned around, a little overran it a little bit, and unable to make the catch.
Ball was alright.
Right here, you got it.
So new life here for number 25. And Maddox still ahead here, 1-2. That's another one fouled back and out of play. He's timing up that fastball. Maddox might want to try and throw something a little bit off speed. Maybe go that curveball or slider.
Right here.
There's a curveball, and that's going to ring him up. And that's just great coaching from Dad in the press box. And that'll bring up number 5 here with 1 out and 1 on. Showing bunt. Did he offer at it? Well, umpire's going to say you got it back around. That's exactly what you want to do, though. Max had the right idea. You just throw it straight through that bat. Hayden in at third, throw over. Lennox players really like to chirp when the ball gets thrown over to first base for some reason. There's a ground ball to Brooks. Over to Will. Will over to Pete. Not in time, but they get the lead runner. It was just kind of too slow of a roller to be able to get that done. But either way, they'll bring 2 out now. Runner on first. We're going to get a courtesy runner here for the pitcher. It's going to bring up number 17. There's a swing and a miss for strike 1. And another swing and a miss. You know, Maddox throws another one of those and a little bit more elevated. They should be heading back to the dugout. And here's the 0-2. Runner goes, and that's a high fastball. Dad is 2 for 2 in this inning on calling strikeout pitches. And so we'll head to the bottom of the fourth, still 0-0.
In the bottom of the fourth inning, the center fielder number 4, Tate Connell.
All right, Tate's going to lead off here in the fourth. Game moving along very quickly. There's a drive. That is deep. Oh, and underneath it is the right fielder. Man, I thought Tate hit that a lot harder than he actually did as he flies out to right.
Wow. Thanks for window.
You want to sit in the corner, May? Here's Pete. Pete looks at ball 1. At least he didn't get hit that time by a pitch. I want to say Pete's already been hit 6 times this year, including the one today. And that's a curveball in there for strike 1. Here's the 1-1. There's a line back up the middle. Oh! Sliding grab by the shortstop as Pete hit that one on the screws. Unfortunately, it was about 3 feet to the second base side of the shortstop, who slides in and makes a sliding play. It was the hardest hit ball of this game so far. And that's going to bring up Harry Nichols, who skied one about 10 feet in front of the plate. There's a ground ball. Ooh, into the Lennox dugout. As Harry was way out in front of that ball. Harry waits on a high fastball. Oh, there's another high fly ball in the infield, and that is going to be a pop out to the third baseman. So that'll do it for your Chargers in the fourth, and we'll head out for the fifth, still knotted at 0s. All right, number 20, the third baseman's going to lead off here for Lennox in the fifth. There's a line drive coming in, and that is going to be dropped. That's going to be a leadoff single as that ball falls in front of Abbott Moeller.
This is what number 14, catcher Justin Butler.
Short lead at first. And he offers at it, fouls it back on a bunt attempt. Hayden Gorsett was crashing at third. Let's see if he squares around a bunt here. And Maddox grabs the ball and tags him out. But that does move up the runner.
Right fielder, number 3, Griffin Boongarden.
So runner on second, one out here in the fifth. Lennox trying to manufacture some runs. That ball misses outside. There's a swing and a miss. Evens the count at 1-1. Strikeout here would be ideal. Big swing and a miss. So Maddox ahead here, 1-2. That is fouled out of play. And we'll do 1-2 again. Max just has to do a good job of keeping this ball out of the dirt to give DK a chance. He's going to try and go off speed here. Here's the 1-2. High fastball gets him. And that's a much needed strikeout for Maddox Munson. So 2 down now, runner on second. That's out on the outside part of the plate for strike one. And there's a fastball over the inside part of the plate as he swings through that one. So Maddox way ahead here, 0-2. He's a strike away from getting out of this inning after a leadoff single. Maddox steps off for a second. Overthrows it, and that gets away from DK. And that's going to be to the back of the backstop. So 1-2 now. Runner moves up 90 feet to third. And Maddox just has to keep balls out of the dirt. Not that high, though. Evens the count at 2-2. That ball misses low and inside. So that's going to run the count full after being ahead 0-2. Good save by Dylan, and that ball was way outside. And that's going to be a 2-out walk, and that's going to bring up runners on the corners. That's going to bring up Mike, have a conversation. All right, well, Mad Dog's going to stay in here. I think Coach Corset's just having a conversation with what we want to do defensively with the runner at first base. So 2 out, runners on the corners. Ball misses high. So here's the 1-0. There's a ground ball into the hole, and that's over Brooks's glove, and he keeps it on the infield, and that's going to be an infield single. And that is going to give Lennox a 1-0 lead. Oh. Walks will kill you. Ball misses inside. So Maddox behind here, 1-0. And he drills him in the back. So that's going to load the bases here.
Number 25 is shortstop, Alan Ike.
And well, bases loaded after the second hit batsman of the game. There's a curveball in there for strike one.
Right here, you got it.
It's a good job of pitching backwards. Here's the 0-1. There's another curveball for strike two. Max is going to step off here.
Come on, Callan, George.
Maddox really needs a K here. Really needs a K. There's a swing and a miss on a nice changeup, and he gets out of a jam. He does give up one. Lennox leaves 3. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th with your Chargers trailing 1-0. All right, well, your Chargers are going to need to get some runs going because they have yet to get a hit. I think they've had 2 base runners, both via a walk and a hit batsman. So that's going to bring up DK, followed by Abbott Moeller. And there's a curveball in there for strike 1. Fouled back, out of play, and then back into play. So DK in an 0-2 hole here. There's a ground ball to the second baseman. Gloves it, rocks, and fires. Pulls him off the bag, and he's going to keep his foot just on the bag barely, and Dylan is going to be out at first. It was close as the throw from the second baseman pulled the first baseman off the line, off the bag a little bit, up the line. The umpire said he kept his toe on the bag. So that's going to bring up Abbott here. There's a ground ball up the middle. Going to give the second baseman another chance. There's a throw over, and it's going to get Abbott by a step as the second baseman ranges up the middle, gloves it, and beats Abbott to first by a step. So 2 quick outs here in the 5th, and that's going to bring up Jake Humple. And that is a strike on the outside part of the plate. There's a chopper to the third baseman. Gloves, rocks, fires, and gets Jake by a step. So 3 ground outs are going to do it for your Chargers in the 5th. And we'll head to the top of the 6th with your Chargers trailing 1-0.
Leading off for 6 for Lennox. The pitcher number 5, Cole Keeler.
All right, well, that's going to bring up number 5, the pitcher for Lennox, who hasn't given up a hit yet, to lead off the 6th. Maddox bounces one in there that went about 55 feet for ball 1. Ground ball in between Maddox's legs, and that is going to be a leadoff single.
Number 17, Sam Bomber.
Come on, Sam, please get here.
So that's going to bring up number 17. Lennox keeps giving themselves chances. They keep getting the leadoff runners on. And showing bunt. Crashing is Hayden. That ball misses outside. Ball misses high. So Maddox behind here, 2-0. Guy squared a bunt. You just throw it hard and throw it through the bat. Come on, Maddox. Throw over, runner back. And bunts it, but the roll's foul. It's a lucky break, because that was going to be a tough play for either DK or Hayden to field that and get it to Pete in time. So 2-1's the count. That's fouled back, and that's exactly what you need to do. High fastball through the bat, and now Max has evened it up at 2-2. So him and DK. Throw over. Oh, good save by Pete, as Maddox tried to airmail him over at first. I believe number 5 was picked off earlier in the game by Maddox. Bounces in there. Good stop. Throw down by Dylan, and throw is late. As Maddox bounced it in there, and Dylan couldn't corral it. And that is ball 3, and the runner moves up 90 feet. Here's the full count. Swing and a miss, and that is a much-needed strikeout for Maddox. That's going to bring up number 20. Rocks and fires. As number 20 swings through that one on the inside part of the plate. Max trying to work out of a jam here in the 6th. Here's the 0-1. And that's in there for strike 2 as he paints the corner. So Max ahead here 0-2. Max steps off here. Him and Dylan having some communication issues on what they want to throw here. All right, I think we're ready. I think him and Dylan have it kind of figured out. Oh, and that is, oh my gosh. They said it was low. Ooh. Man, I don't know about that one. Either way, 1-2 here. A good curveball. And there's a swing and a miss.
That's your number 14. Justin Butler.
So that's the second out of the inning. Both outs have been via the K. And that's going to bring up number 14 for Lennox. Runner still down at second. And that's out there for strike 1. Not real sure about that one, but we'll take it because it's only because it's our guy. So 0-1. High fastball, swings through it. All right, one more, and Max can get out of this jam here in the 6th. Ooh, swings over, pulls Dylan out of his crouch and way outside. Tried to overthrow that one. Just need one here to get out of the inning. There's a high fastball, and that'll do it. Max gets out of a jam after a leadoff single. And we'll head to the bottom at the 6th. Chargers run out of outs to get some runs. They only need 2, but we'll start with one of them. Then we'll head to the bottom of the 6th with Hayden Gorsett and Will coming up, and then the top of the order in Brooks. All right, Hayden's going to set the lead off here in the 6th. Ball misses way outside. So Hayden here ahead 1-0. There's 2 that misses badly. (2-0) to Hayden. Chopped foul. Sioux Falls Christian still looking for their first hit of the game. And it's a 12-6 curveball that drops in there for strike 2. Guys got to know if they see it that high, they got to wait. Here's a 2-2. Way outside and low. So Hayden's worked it full here. Base hit, ball 4. We don't care. We just need base runners at this point. And there's a swing and a miss.
Second baseman number 10, Will.
And that's going to bring up Will here. Fouled back at the net. Will was right on that one. Brooks on deck. Ball misses inside, not by much. Bats have been really quiet for your Chargers tonight. It's got to be tough. Haven't played a game in over 2 weeks. Trying to find any rhythm as that one goes towards the dugout. And Brooks has a collection of foul balls over there by him. Tough to get any rhythm at the plate when you're going 2 weeks in between games. The bats were red hot out in Rapid City. Need to get him going late here. The ball misses inside, so 2-2. Lennox fans do not like it. I love it. Excuse me. But here's a 2-2. Curveball misses. No, you gotta be kidding me. That is on the white in the left-handed batter's box. Man, oh man, that is tough for Will. He's went down on a couple real questionable calls tonight. Man, oh man. Well, that'll bring up Brooks. I guess that's a strike too, so strike zone really opening up here in these late innings. I guess that one's a ball though. You can ring Will up, man. You know, all we really need is some consistency, so these guys know what's a strike and what's not. Here's the 1-1 to Brooks. Looks at a fastball at the knees. Ball misses inside. It's a 2-2 here to Brooks. There's a high chopper. Brooks with a lot of speed, gloved by the second baseman, and he is going to be out by a half a step at first. And we're going to head to the 7th with your Chargers needing a quick inning here. All right, Mad Dog out for the 7th. In there for strike 1. Mad Dog needing a quick inning to give his team a chance, and that's foul down and out of play. So Maddox ahead here 0-2. Here's the 0-2. High fastball, and that is going to be strikeout number 13 on the day.
Brings the point to second baseman number 2, Cade Ashine.
All right, that's going to bring up the number 2. Maddox pumping strikes so far here in the 7th. Big swing and a miss. Swing and a miss, and that's 6 pitches, 6 strikes, and 2 strikeouts.
Center fielder number 4, Jackson Bittner.
And that's going to bring up their leadoff hitter with 2 out. Ball misses inside. It couldn't have been by much. Here's the 1-0. That ball misses high. So Maddox, after 2 quick outs, is behind here 2-0. There's off the end of the bat, charging his Brooks. Gloves, throws over and gets him by a step at first. And 3 up, 3 down. Max got what he needed. And now it's up to the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers bats to win it here in the 7th. Well, here in the bottom of the 7th, Tate Connell, Pete Samp, and Harry Nichols all due up. And your Chargers is going to need at least 1 run to extend the game and 2 runs to win it. But they have yet to get a hit, and they've had 2 guys on base all day.
Leading off the bottom of the 7th for the Chargers, number 4, the center fielder, Tate Connell.
So Tate Connell going to get us going. Tate Connell does have home run power. That's fouled back. Pete Samp going to wait for his opportunity as he runs to the infield to grab that foul ball and kicked back into play. I got to assume Tate's got to wait on a curveball here. Yep. So Tate in an 0-2 hole. Oh, that's a good job by Tate as he waited on that curveball finally and fouled it back to the net to stay alive. And that curveball misses high. It's a good eye by Tate. So 1-2 count here. Tate just trying to find any way on. Fouled back and out of play. It's a good battle by Tate, trying to find something he can handle. Wind is blowing out to left. And everybody coming up this inning has power to put one out there. There's a line drive at the second baseman. And that is going to put your Chargers down their last 2 outs. All right, I'll bring up Pete here. And is it a strike? I think he called a strike, but didn't say anything and just put his fist up. So strike 1. Ball misses outside, so 1-1 to Pete. fouled out of play and into the Lennox dugout. So Pete behind here, 1 and 2. Pete calls time. Pete's rung up on a curveball. That's going to bring up Harry Nichols. The last chance here for your Sioux Falls Christian Chargers. Fouled back and off the catcher. Harry trying to find a way on for DK. And that's another one fouled back. So Harry behind here, 0 and 2. And Chargers down to your last strike. Ground ball down the line and foul. So Harry stays alive. So 0-2 again. Ball misses high. So here's the 1-2 to Harry. Ooh. Off his foot. That's a foul ball, even though it's rolling on the infield. Fouled it off his foot. Harry trying to battle, trying to find something, trying to find a way on. That ball just misses outside. That's been called a strike several times in this game. So 2-2 count here. This is going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat here for Harry Nichols. Oh, gets a piece. He was way out in front and just was able to keep his bat back to get a foul tip back in the netting. So this will be pitch number 9 of the at-bat. Ooh, almost hit him. So the count is full. Harry, who dug himself in an 0-2 hole, has battled his back. This is going to be the 10th pitch of the at-bat, and it's a full count. 2 out, bottom of the 7th. Your Chargers trailing 1-0, and down to possibly your last strike here. Foul ball, popped up, coming in as the first baseman, and grabs it in foul territory, and that is going to be a win for your Lennox Orioles because they no-hit your Chargers. Chargers got 2 base runners all day, And they spoiled a great outing by Maddox Munson, who went the distance,
Thanks for coming out tonight.
struck out 14, gave up 1 run on 3 hits. Very well pitched game. But that'll do it. And we will be back with you on Wednesday here from Ronkin Field as your Sioux Falls Christian Chargers will take on the West Central. I forget what their mascot is. But either way, we'll be back here on Wednesday. Be a good matchup. Tough loss here. First loss of the season for your Chargers.